Hi friends, this is Devendra Soman from Nisarga Herbs, and today we have an international Taekwondo athlete with us, and we are just waiting for her to join in. She should be online in about a minute. So let me just introduce you to her. She is an international Taekwondo athlete. Her Asian rank is 47. She is 113th in the world rankings, and her Olympic ranking was 199. I see a lot of people are joining in. Purvaji is also here. Let me just take her into the call. So, as we all know, we are pretty tired of hearing about immunity as well as just topics related to COVID-19. So, it is always nice to have a new topic and something that is inspiring and something that is very nice as an inspiration for everyone. So, hi Purvaji, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
Nice, nice, nice. So I was just introducing you to everyone who has joined in. So let me just finish your introduction and then we can start this talk.
Sure.
So she's also a Chhatrapati Shivaji Puraskar awardee. She was a gold medalist in the fifth Commonwealth Junior Championship. She's a gold medalist in Lusophonia Games in 2014. She's a gold medalist in the 12th South Asian Games. She was second. She's a silver medalist in the second India Open International Taekwondo Championship. She is a gold medalist in the 13th South Asian Games, and she has 12 gold medals and 4 silver medals on the national level in senior and junior competition. So, as everyone can see, she's a perfect. She's one of the best taekwondo athletes that India has today. So, Purvaji, welcome to Nisarga Talks, and I'm very
Thank you
glad that
so
you are
much.
here.
Same here.
Yeah. So we have curated a few questions that we would like to ask in this talk,
Hmm.
and then we'll also take questions from the audiences.
Sure.
So tell me, how and when did you start feeling passion about Taekwondo, and how did you decide that you want to go with Taekwondo and not with karate or any other forms of martial arts?
So my mother is from sports background, and she inquired around for some kind of sport, and she found a club nearby our place, which was Taekwondo club. So that is how we started. I started doing Taekwondo, and I was 6 when I started. And initially, I played for fun as extracurricular, but later when I started winning medals, and I'd like to mention my elder brother. He did taekwondo before me, and he has won a few national medals before me. So that became a competition for me. I took that
Okay.
as a competition. Like if he can win gold medals or medals, so can I. So I have to do this, and that was a point where I started taking taekwondo in a serious way.
Okay, okay. We have a question from the audience. So, just a second. So the question is it also called Korean karate?
Not karate, but the game taekwondo is from Korea. It's Korea's national sport.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So, when did you decide to go professional in the field? So you told us about how you basically got into a competition with your own brother, and
Yeah.
that's how you did it. But when did the thought come in that okay, I want to go professional in this sport?
The time when I started, I was doing it for fun. Later, I won silver medal at school games competition, state level competition. But they didn't organize national level competitions for school games. So I was like, even after winning gold medal at state, I was not being able to go for nationals. So I started working hard, more harder. Then I participated in my first nationals in the year 2008. I lost there. In 2009, I went for one school games national where I won gold, the first ever gold of my national. And the other was Federation National where I won silver medal. And after that, the first opportunity that I got of going for internationals was in 2011. So it were Commonwealth Championships, which were held in Chennai, India, and after that in Korea, the World Championship.
Okay.
So after that, I got Chhatrapati Award for the year 2010 and 11, and that was the time when I realized that if I'm doing good, why, like, I can choose it as a career.
Okay. Okay.
So the first India camp which I got was in the year 2010, and I was in 10th standard. But the camp was in Pune, so I could manage doing studies and giving exams. And after that, I always aspired to, choose something from medical field or choose architecture.
Okay.
But as I was doing taekwondo, I never got a chance of studying much. And even after that, I decided to take science stream after 10th standard in 11th. And I didn't get to attend college much. And after that, my father asked me, what are you deciding? What have you decided to do after 12th? And the only answer I had was that I wanted to do taekwondo.
Okay. Okay.
And somehow, even I realized it late that I wanted to do taekwondo as a career.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you had it somewhere in the back of your mind that Taekwondo was going to be your life's work, and
Yeah.
it took some time, but you finally got there, and we are
Yes.
we are happy that you found it that way, because a lot of people sometimes they don't know what they want to do, and when they realize it's too late. So I'm glad that you
Yeah.
realized it at the right time. So we have one more question. How can you manage your time for practice as well as the work you're doing now?
I didn't understand the work.
No, so Rudra Karandikar is asking the question, how can you manage your time for practice and also for work?
Okay. So after 12th, my dad's a lawyer. He's an advocate professionally. And when he asked me the question, what you want to do? I said taekwondo. And after that, he insisted me to take law, to study
Okay.
law bachelor. And that is how I decided, like, I went into law. And in first and second year, I was not that serious about doing law because I focused more. Even now, I'm focusing more on taekwondo.
Okay.
But managing studies, work, and sports has always been a task, but is never impossible, I think, because I could do it. Because I was an average student when I was in school. I scored 71% in 10th class, so I don't think I was that, what do we say? I was not below average, even not above average. I was just an average student. So if an average student can do both things together, I think every sports person can, because I have seen a lot of sports persons, they neglect the academics and studies. I'd never
Right, right.
suggest I would want to suggest every athlete to, at least complete their graduation so that they can, if at all they choose to do something else other than the sport, they will, they can do something out of academics if they are graduates at least.
Of course, of course. I
So
completely
yeah,
agree, and it is nice for you as an international athlete to say that people should not ignore their studies or
yeah,
ignore their professional lives while trying to figure out a career or a profession in sports, especially in India, where cricket is the only game that actually
yes,
makes the player something in their lives, or else other sports are very much neglected in our Indian society today. Hopefully, the things have started changing with the kabaddi leagues and other sports
Yes.
taking a foreground, badminton taking a foreground these days. And I'm sure that you will be a key person in bringing Taekwondo on the same level someday as well. So,
I hope.
thank you so much. So tell me about your day when you're training for large competitions. So, how is your schedule? What diet you maintain? How much exercise or how much practice you have to do? Just tell us about something because I've never been in contact sports, so this is a new
Okay.
sort of a concept and a sport as well for me. So,
Yeah.
any insight would be great.
Yeah. So whenever we have competitions, international competitions or national competitions, for reaching to international, we have that basic procedure: winning at district level, then state level, then national level. And after that, national medalists are called upon for a trial, and whoever wins is selected for international before training camp, depending on when the tournament. They train for about 5 to 6 hours a day.
Ramaji, I'm losing you a bit. Is there an internet issue at your end?
Okay, there might be some issue because it's raining
Okay,
out here.
now you're clear again. Now you're clear again. Please go ahead.
Okay, so when we go for trials, we get selected for some tournament international. They keep a training camp. The duration
Okay,
depends according to the according to the schedule, according to which tournament, when it is, and all. And there we
right.
train for around 4 to 5, no, 6 hours every
Okay,
day.
okay,
And the training sessions and everything depends on the coaches.
okay,
So that is
okay,
how we train. And otherwise, I train in a private club, and
okay.
I train for around 2 hours every day when I'm at home.
Right, of course. So we have a question from the audience. So they are asking, did you face difficulty as a female athlete in India? If yes, how did you deal with them? So this is all towards the feminist issues and politics that happens in our sports culture in India. So this question is actually there is how did you deal with it and have you faced any such issues?
No, I don't remember facing any such difficulty because I'm a female. People have been quite fair every time. So nothing like because I'm female, I'm facing so and so thing. Nothing of that sort.
Right. I would also like to add to that question is that since you're a Taekwondo player, I'm sure no one has dared to really cause any trouble to you in any way at some point. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's one more question. So, this is actually related to Taekwondo. So, your counter kick is so impressive. How you have managed when opponent is so close?
Sorry, I didn't
So,
understand. Can you repeat it for me?
yeah, they're asking your counter kicks are impressive. How do you manage when the opponent is so close to you?
Okay. I didn't understand it, but from what I understood, obviously you need to train for it. If you're training, try like you asked me about the close kick when the opponent is closer to me. So I've trained
Right,
for
right.
that kick, for that technique, and
Okay,
that's why I can manage it. And
okay,
I'll
perfect.
suggest you the same. If you train for whatever you have or you are thinking of, you have doubt about, you'll get over it. You'll learn it.
Right. Now, tell me something about your diet. So, do you take supplements or is there some additional nutrition? What kind of foods do you eat? And just the fitness of the keeping a good diet. How do you go about it?
Okay, so I won't say I don't eat junk food at all. I do eat junk once in a week or maybe once in 2 weeks. But yeah, we should avoid it. I avoid eating oily food, sugar, and yes, I do take supplements because uh, eating right and nutritious food for an athlete is as important. It is equally important as doing exercise or training. So yes, I do take supplements and I do include salad in my food every day. Green vegetables, leafy vegetables. Yeah, nothing out of the box.
Okay, so basically, home cooked food is what you would say works for most of the people. And as
Yeah,
an
it
elite
should.
athlete, do you like take supplement, protein powders or amino acids or any other kinds of supplements?
Yes, I do. Because they help in every way, in fast recovery, in maintaining high energy.
Okay. Would you like to tell us more about like what kind of proteins you use or what kind of recovery powders or gels you use? Because our audiences would really like to know like what an elite athlete does. So I'm sure a lot of people who have joined in are very careful and they are fitness freaks in some level or the other, and they would like to know what elite athletes do. So maybe they are running a 5K or they are doing some triathlon, and they would like to incorporate those suggestions into their own regimens or their fitness practices.
Yeah. Okay, so I try to get more out of my diet than adding supplements. And I'm
Okay.
lactose intolerant, so I take vegan protein, plant protein, or pea protein.
Okay.
Other than
Okay.
that, like I said, I try to get more out of food and diet, out of
Okay.
natural source.
Right. 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 So we have one more question. Are you a pure vegetarian or do you eat non-vegetarian food as well?
So I have a story for that as well. Before joining Taekwondo, I used to be a pure vegetarian.
Okay.
But after joining in, my coach insisted. He made me eat non-veg food.
Okay.
And the first time I ate it, I was vomiting everywhere around. I couldn't resist. But later, when I went out for my first internationals, I really felt thankful that I started eating non-veg
Okay.
because it's not impossible to get vegetarian food outside India, but they have less options in veg.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
So
of course. But did your coach make you start eating non-vegetarian food because you had to travel and there are limited food options? Or is there something to do with the mindset or the aggression that, I mean, they say in Ayurveda or they say in India everywhere that you are who you eat or what you eat. So, does, according to you, eating non-veg food give you an edge in terms of aggression or in terms of power as compared to someone who
not
might be a
really.
pure vegetarian?
No, I don't think that eating non-veg will make you more aggressive or more powerful. But yes, like if you eat like chicken contains more protein than veg. Like if you
Of
choose
course, of
non-veg,
course.
yeah, so it contains more nutrition and protein than the veg food. You get more options in non-veg than in veg, I think.
Okay, okay.
But
We have
not
one
that
more
it
question
affects
from
our
which,
mindset or aggressiveness.
right, right, right. Of course, of course. So one more question we have is from which foods you get the required protein levels. So I think you answered that you eat non-vegetarian food. So maybe chicken and eggs is like a daily or a something that is in your
Yeah,
diet every day, right? So
yeah.
right, right. So I guess that answers your question. So tell me something. How do you ensure that injuries are minimized during training and during tournaments? And also, have you been injured where you had to take a long time off from training or from competition? And how was your recovery and your journey back to being an athlete and starting to compete in tournaments again?
So being in a combat sport, you have to be ready for every kind of injury. So there has
Right.
not been a day with that I've gone without having injuries.
Right.
If I'm fighting, I get minor or I've never had any major injury though, touch wood. But yes, I've had minor injuries and taking proper care, food, diet, and of course, mindset plays a major role in recovering faster. And I have never taken a long break because of injury, but I remember an instance when I had to go through a major eye surgery, after which I had to take a rest of 6 months.
Okay.
Only that. Otherwise, I've never had any major injury which made me, take a longer break from training.
Right. 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 But how do you ensure that you're not getting injured to a level where you have to take a break? Like, is there a certain exercise regimen, or is there a conditioning or a warm up practice that you do before you start your practice or during a tournament that basically ensures that your body is in a state where you won't be injured in case you are hit very badly?
Yeah, of course. Warming up is the basic thing, the most essential thing before you work out or fight or anything. So warm up is a must, stretching is must, and of course, like in our game, I have seen that players have got knee injuries a lot. So if you do proper strengthening exercises, that can be minimized or avoided at all. Using proper equipment, that can help. And if you have injuries already, taking proper rest is important, because I've seen a lot of athletes who don't recover properly, but they resume training again before the
Right, right,
recommended time. Like doctors tell them to take rest for 6 months, 7 months, but they start training in 3 months because they feel okay. But I feel that taking the recommended rest will help and heal faster, and maybe it will make you stronger next for the coming time fights and everything.
right, right, right. Uh, So how do you prepare yourselves to fight? So I understand that training is a very big part of being a frontline fighter in Taekwondo because it's a one-on-one contact sport. So you have to be trained by like your mind as well as your body to be a fighter. But how do you do it? How do you condition yourself that because for someone who is not in a contact sport or who has never fought in a karate or a taekwondo match, it is very difficult to imagine standing in front of someone who you know is going to hit you in the next 5, 10, 20 seconds and you might be injured badly. So how do you condition your mind to understand what is happening and how do you go about it?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I played for fun. So there have been times when I've got beaten badly. There are times when I have beaten my opponent in a very bad way. And it is a part of combat sport. If you've decided to join some contact sport or combat sport, you have to be ready for the injuries, like I said.
Right,
And there have been quite a lot of instances when I'm fighting against my friend
right,
who becomes my opponent. So
okay,
there I only think of, doing my best, performing the best, regardless who my opponent is, my friend, my rival or champion or whoever. I just focus on giving my best, doing the best. And I don't, it happens a lot of times. I don't like to regret after stepping out of match ki अरे शायद ये करना चाहिए था ये नहीं किया, but it will happen every time because there'll always be something that you can improve and work on. But I try to give my 100% when I step on the mat.
right,
And
right.
other thing is that I don't think much of winning or losing, because my coach has always taught me जीतना या हारना मायने नहीं रखता, because I have seen him encourage every person. He never hits us, he never beats us for losing. जब भी हम
Right.
अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं, he will, even if we lose after performing well, he'll praise us, he'll encourage us. But when
Right.
we win after playing bad, he'll scold us. So
Okay.
my main focus has always been on performing best than winning or losing. And maybe performing the best made me win every time, whenever I have.
Okay. So we have a question. Are you aiming for Olympics next year? What will be the selection procedure be like?
So yes, I am training, and like every time there will be a selection trial for the tournament. If you are a national medalist, they'll call you up for a trial, or maybe according to the criteria, which will be decided when they decide to take trial.
Okay.
So the criteria for selection trials are not fixed. Whatever, they'll give you a letter which will mention the criteria of selection trials, and accordingly they'll act.
Okay. So one more question. Have you ever knocked someone out? So a lot of people, they are used to watching Bruce Lee movies and Mike Tyson, just one punch and someone is knocked out. So have you ever knocked someone out like that?
A few times, yes. And
Okay.
there was a time when I was young, when I was small, there was a kick that I excelled in, and I gave her a face kick, and her nose started bleeding,
Okay.
and she
Okay.
left the fight. But that made me feel so bad at that time. But now I know that knockout is something that every person should try.
Okay.
Now it feels good that yes, I have done it. And yes,
Nice.
for a combat sport, knocking out someone is just too good.
Yeah, it's
Obviously, as
like
a human, will feel bad, but as an athlete, you'll just feel wow from within.
of course. Of course. Do you keep a number? So like up tak chappan, do you keep a number as to how many people you have knocked out? You said you
No,
have done it a few times. So do you have like a hit list that okay, I want to knock this athlete out when
no,
you
no,
go for
not
international
really.
tournament? So do you have like a nemesis that we would say in that okay, I want to beat this person every single time he's in front of me. Do you have a player like that?
Not really. No, I just want to win every time. I just want to perform well. Not that I want
Perfect,
to beat
perfect. I,
him or
I
beat
love your
him.
singular focus. I love your
Yeah,
singular focus that you want to win
thank
every
you.
time you step on the mat, and it's never about personal vendettas. So you're I guess that's what makes a person a good fighter is when they don't take it personally, and it is all
Yeah,
about the profession and about the sport. I really appreciate
yes.
that. There is one more question I would like to answer that actually is what was your highest rank in Taekwondo? So she's ranked 47th in Asia and she's ranked 113th in the world. So I guess that answers that question.
Yeah.
And there's actually a good wishes for you is we would love to see you in the coming Olympics. So that is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Let me see. Okay, so there's one more question. Have you ever been knocked out by someone?
Sorry, I
I
didn't
think we
hear you
lost
properly. Voice.
Purvaji there for.
Yes.
Yeah, so the question is, have you been knocked out by someone before?
No, never. There have been many times that I got injured in a very, very serious way. That my leg got fractured once. Once I couldn't breathe properly. I had severe back pain. I've had periods while fighting, but I've never given up on any fight. No matter what, I try to end that fight. I win or I lose doesn't matter. Not giving up is what matters to me. So I
Of course.
have never
But
got knocked out by anyone. And even if I get a hard blow on my face or anywhere, I don't, I don't want to. I never want to give up on any fight. But there was an incident when I went for my first international, where my first fight was against Hong Kong, which I won, and then the second fight was with Asian champion. And that being my very first incident, my very first international tournament, I used to be underweight. After that, I used to, gain weight by drinking water, and then I participated in that tournament. I wasn't well aware of who she was. I had a good experience. She was really strong and fast than me, and she was kicking very hardly. And my coach decided to give up on that fight because maybe I could get knocked out.
Okay.
So that can't be called knockout, but yes, that was a bye because I really wanted to fight and end that match, but my coach realized that she should not play further, and that fight ended.
Okay. So one more question: what goes through your mind during a fight? So, like, are you thinking strategically or are you thinking tactically? Where do you have a game plan set when you are entering the fight? So, do you know how the player in front of you plays or what their tactics are, or do you do it in the moment and just go with the flow of the fight? How do you go about your
Of course,
strategy
I
in the
go
fight?
with the flow, but I try to never lose my calm. I'm always
Okay.
calm while fighting. Even if my opponent is leading with 10 or 20 points, I try to keep calm and cover it up. And being a combat sport, you need to react fast. Your reaction needs to be fast. And that is, we all train. We all train for the
Of,
reaction and the speed. And nobody can help you on the bout in the ring. It's just you
right.
who has to,
Right.
react in a fast way. Even if your coach is telling you, "Are do this, do this, do this," but you know what you need to react that fast.
Of course. Of course.
So yes, coaches do tell me, I follow it, but there are times when it's all about how I react.
Right. Right. Of
So
course.
yes, sometimes I do it on my part, and sometimes many a times, a lot of times, it's just I do what coaches tell me.
Okay. Okay. But so in cricket, you can decide while the bowler is running towards you that okay, I'm going to hit him in this area now, even before the ball is delivered. Do you do something like that in Taekwondo? Like while you're kicking someone, you decide as to where you are going to kick him next, even before you have seen what kind of a defense they are putting up for your next hit. Do you decide something like that?
Uh, yes and no. It works the both ways. Like we can't
Okay,
decide. We act according to how the player is fighting with us.
okay,
So yes, it happens sometimes that I decide to do this and I execute it and I accomplish it. But there are quite
okay,
a few times when I fail at doing it.
okay, okay. So there's one more question for you, and I don't know, but are there any cross-gender matches in Taekwondo?
No,
Okay,
no.
perfect. So that question doesn't make sense. So someone just wants to know if you have ever beaten any guy outside of the field because you're a
Okay.
Taekwondo player.
So while we are training, we do train with boys, and it becomes a
Okay,
hard and tough competition to fight with a boy. But that brings out the best from girls, I think, because they are more powerful physically.
of course.
And otherwise, yes, I have beaten up one guy who tried to misbehave with me, and that
Okay,
happened only once.
okay. But have you knocked someone out in training? Some boy or an opposite gender guy? Have you ever knocked someone out during training? Are the trainings
Uh,
as severe as the fights, or is the training completely different arena or a setting than an actual fight?
so there are different types. Like if we are doing fighting training, we fight like we are fighting at tournaments. We
Okay.
do training like fight, technical training, speed training. So whenever we are fighting, we do fight training. We fight like we are fighting at tournaments. So we do
Okay.
get injured, but I don't remember knocking out someone in, while training, in training
Okay.
fight. But I remember getting knocked out when I was small because that boy, I used to fight with a boy who always used to punch my face, which was not
Okay.
allowed.
Okay.
So that was the only
Okay.
time when I remember getting knocked out while training.
Okay. So we've seen a lot of your videos on your profile on Instagram. So you are a big promoter of yoga. So there is actually a question is how are you managing your Taekwondo training in COVID-19 lockdown? So I would like to add to that question is are you using yoga as a medium to maintain fitness as well as flexibility?
Yes, if I get a choice of, choosing one, like strength or flexibility, I've always focused more on flexibility, not saying that I neglect strength, but I have focused on flexibility. My mother is a professional yoga instructor,
Okay.
and she's the one who teaches me yoga. And I've been quite dedicated towards yoga as well because it not only helps us physically, but I have personally experienced that I and somewhere yoga has helped me do it, the
Okay.
meditation and
Okay.
all.
So the meditation does help you stay calm during your tournaments and just training as well, right?
Yeah.
And how have you managed your training during this lockdown? So your gyms and your dojos must have been closed for the lockdown, right? So are you
Yes.
practicing at home or is your coach training you via videos? How do you go about it?
So yes, I'm training at home right now. In the first 2 days after lockdown, I was all messed up. I couldn't understand how to do and what to do things. And after that, I decided that no matter what, lockdown is there. Obviously, I can't go out because I won't recommend or suggest any athlete to go out for running because going out running without mask is risky and having masks on while running is also risky.
Okay.
So I try to train as much. I try to train at home in any way. So in the morning I do yoga, and in afternoon I do strength training or taekwondo training. So for combat sport we do need a partner, but training at home made it really impossible. But then my father started helping me with training. And after that, I got a punching bag at my home. So I try to do
Okay.
whatever I can do and train at home.
Okay. So you said your brother is also a Taekwondo player. Is your father involved in the sport in some way as well, or did he just take up training equipment so he could help you out during this lockdown?
No, my father did do karate when he was small, but
Okay.
he has no idea. He doesn't know how, he has never been into sports. But I remember an incident. Jab I had my very first fight of my entire life. When I went there, I was more interested in dance than taekwondo.
Okay.
I joined taekwondo because of my brother, because he went for taekwondo class.
Right.
And
Right. Of course.
I was being able to meet and make friends over there at taekwondo club. So that was the only purpose
Okay.
I went there.
Okay. Right.
And
Right.
I was
Of
more interested in dance. So the first fight I remember, I went there and that girl, she started kicking my face continuously, and I got scared. I started crying, And after that fight, I cried a lot. I told my father that I'm not doing taekwondo anymore. I'll do dance. And my father was like, no, if my son can do taekwondo, so can my daughter.
Right,
And you will
right.
do taekwondo, not dance.
Okay.
And he has always been very supportive towards sport.
That is really inspiring to hear your journey from being a small girl who cried after her first fight to seeing you today, who is an international taekwondo athlete. So I think that is a very inspiring journey to have been, and I'm glad that your father pushed you to keep
Yeah.
continuing training in taekwondo, or else maybe today we might have an international dancer instead of an international taekwondo athlete
Oh, maybe.
talking to us. So so we have one more question is, are you angry sometimes when your opponent has not played well? So are you disappointed if a fight is too easy? Is maybe what the question is.
I didn't understand the question at all.
So are you
Maybe he's
disappointed?
asking me that do I get angry while fighting? Is it?
No, no, no. It is basically, are you disappointed or do you get angry if a fight is too easy?
Yes, I do get disappointed when the fight goes very easy because, and also it gets really hard fighting with a person who is not technically good, who plays rough.
Okay.
So fighting against a player who is technically good is far better than fighting against a player who is rough.
Okay. Okay. And what would your advice be to people who wish to get into contact or combat sports?
What
Like,
advice would I give?
is there an age you should join a sport, or let's say someone is in their 30s or in their 20s and they want to start learning karate or taekwondo. Is it a good idea to start doing it at that age? Because I understand that you have to be very flexible and you have to
Yeah.
start training at a young age to be a good combat sport athlete. So, what would your suggestion be?
There's not a perfect time to join any sport. You can join any sport any day because there's a chacha. We call him chacha. There's a person who comes to my club. He's 65 years old and he trains
Okay.
with us.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And he didn't think that in that way that I'm so old and can I join or can I do training like other younger kids. But he does well. He's in fact fabulous. If you have that will of doing something, I think you can do it.
Okay. Okay. So you would recommend that people can take up the sport at any age, but they should not try to go or fight with a professional level athlete at any point and get injured even during training, right?
Yeah, because I don't think
Okay.
any person after 30 will, decide to do career or a combat sport as a career.
Right. Of course. Of course. All right, Purvaji, it was great talking to you today. And
Thank you
is
so
there
much.
something that you would like to add to the audience as maybe an inspiration or maybe a philosophy? If something you want to say to the audience, I think this would be a good time to go about it.
Okay, so there are a lot of things, and first of all, I'd like to encourage more women to do a combat sport. And
Okay.
doing sport has changed my life in every way. I used to be an introvert. I'm still an introvert to some extent, but I used to be underconfident. I used to have a lot of self-doubt, which I think doing any sport, playing any sport can, make you feel confident about yourself, strong about
Okay.
yourself. And during this pandemic, I'd like to suggest every person to do some or the other kind of exercise at home.
Okay.
And yes,
Okay.
going out for running is really a bad idea for now. So you can, try doing something. some kind of workout or exercise at home. And of course, there will be a lot of times you'll feel this is to people who are doing sport. There will be a lot of times that you feel you should give up on any sport, but it depends on how you fight it. And I think doing sport gives you that ability to fight everything, every fear and everything. So just work hard, determination is a must. And all the very best. And thank you to all those who are watching us. Thank you for
Wonderful.
watching us.
So there is
Right.
just one last question that I would take, which I think would be a very good question to end this conversation today. Is so South Asian Games gold and national anthem. So when you accepted the gold at South Asian Games and the Indian national anthem started playing in the background, how would you describe the feeling was? Did you get goosebumps or how was the experience?
Of course. So there's a post I've made on Instagram saying, as a kid, I never thought I'd reach there. But as an adult, I'd try to bring more of these moments. So the moment when I stood up on that stand on the podium wearing that gold medal and the national anthem is playing because of me, that is really a very, very proud moment, because I think there is no better way that you can, serve our country in some or the other way. So making
Of course.
India proud, doing something for our country, contributing in some or the other way makes you feel. I don't have a word to express the feeling. Obviously, I got
Well,
goosebumps, and I get goosebumps every time I hear the national anthem.
that is wonderful. Actually, I think your expression while you were thinking for words to explain that feeling says everything that you want to say. And you really are a true motivation for all the athletes in your sport as well as for all the viewers today. The talk that we had, I think, was really inspirational. What you said about women and sports increasing their confidence in overall life and other activities that they do is, I think, really worthwhile. And I wish to thank you for giving us your valuable time. And
Thank
we
you.
really want to see you in the Olympics. I'm pretty sure that all the viewers would like to have you on this talk again with maybe an Olympic medal around your neck. So I wish you all the best
I hope.
in
Thank you
your
so much.
selections as well as the future tournaments that you would practice in. And I wish you all the best and good luck for all the future things that you want to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you, Purvaji. You have a good evening. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
All right, guys. So that was Purva Dikshit. She's an international taekwondo athlete, and we had a great talk with her today. So next week we are going to have a talk on Facebook Live. So I invite all of you guys to join us next Sunday evening on Facebook Live. This is Devendra Soman from Nisarga Herbs signing out. Thank you so much. Bye.